Kyle is here. If you'd like to say anything about research and development.
Yeah, I will try and make it substantially brief.
Also say one word or two about who
It's the research and documentation pillar is a two-member team so far. We hope to and we hope to expand the team in time. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the Executive Board, and all those in attendance. One question I would like to ask to everyone here is that the Gambia today, is it the one we inherited from those who were there before? No. For me to describe Gambia, I'll just describe it with one word: madness. It's total madness. It's a Gambia where the state institutions are edging towards irreversible paralysis. That is very serious. A country where there is a serious degeneration of the socio-cultural fabric of the society. That's another serious thing. Why is it serious? Because analogically you can see it as a genocide. It's a wiping out of a whole layer that forms a base of a society. It's wiping out a whole lot of experiences that was developed throughout the years. You know how much it requires to evolve a culture. It takes time, experiences, bitterness, pain, efforts, and all those is being wiped out within a period. It is madness. And we all subscribe to it because we allowed this to happen for 20 years of indifference and indecisiveness to act appropriately. The research and documentation pillar, its main objective is to create a formation that will sort of operate in two tiers. One is for data collection, and the other is for the processing of the data. What is this data? These are events and activities that are happening in the Gambia and outside Gambians, that are happening on Gambians, which have an impact on our existence as a people. Because remember, we are from a continent, which is Africa, that was once the cradle of human civilization. Our ancestors like us created the pyramids, which today still science is trying to explain, you know. So we are from we have a great history that we should be proud of, and we should never allow, it's not allowed that to just go out like that by a small one individual despot. So this is how we are operating in 2 tiers, that is data collection, events and activities, and the gathering of knowledge and experiences. These are all data that we will collect and process it in a way that we can better appraise and size up the anomalies that happens in the Gambia. That is in the situation we find ourselves. And 2, to appreciate the task at hand, to appreciate that we have a lot of work to do, a lot of reconstruction work to do. And in the data collection, we need to sort of identify all the resources we have, both material and spiritual resources we have. When I say material, we are all human beings, we are all Gambians, we have all kind of potentials. There are mothers, there are fathers, there are grandparents, there are sons and daughters, there are teachers, there are lawyers, there are bricklayers, we have everything. It's just to mobilize those resources and put them into use for the betterment of the fatherland. Brief, I think this is all that I have to say.
Thank you,
Chairman.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's a report from the research and documentation. While the designation of the earlier pillars that spoke, those designations speak for themselves. Initial communication, everybody knows what that expects. Positive action, partnership. Research and documentation, perhaps one should specify a little bit, because maybe some people may be asking, well, what has research and documentation got to do with the campaign for change, for good governance? It's felt that we are dealing with an animal. It is the misrule going on in the Gambia, which is talked about every day. Gambians are talking about this one. But perhaps also we need to approach it in a much more scientific manner. And that's why the whole pillar is dedicated to look at the whole range of wrongs that are associated with Gambia's rule and try to, as much as their resources allow them, to focus on different specific themes and get as much documentation as possible. Because when the day comes to ensure some degree of accountability, it's not what you and I say on the telephone that matters, but what can be produced as scientific evidence. And that's why we thought that this campaign, this is one other area which the campaign can contribute. And that is the pillar that Mr. Tal has been put in charge to head. Like his other colleagues before him, he has assured you that the doors are open. If any member is interested, find this kind of subject of some interest, you should feel free to indicate your interest, and we'll be quite happy to spend it.
There is just one thing I will say. That there is a work in progress in preparing some sort of a method statement, which I will subject into review, and then maybe expose it, and then if anyone has anything to subscribe to it. Because the idea is to try and have the participation as much from the people.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, we'll have your comments on this different report. And the final report is from the support services, Mr. Colin. Very mindful of the fact that we've run a bit behind the time. I'm sure he will. No, feel free. Keep going.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. First of all, thank James, down there, Tal, who hosting us today in Birmingham. And also my able Bambamas for having this gathering here. At least it's a larger one and overwhelming. And that's what we are learning. I'm not going to make a long speech really, but I'm just going to reiterate on my pillar and the essence of my pillar and what we are setting up to, because it's a work in progress. And of course, before going further, my pillar consists of 4 individuals whom I hardly see, but nonetheless, we still continue going on with whatever we want to do with the support of the chairman and the members of the executive. I also seek the permission of the chairman and also members of the executive to allow me to cop some able young members within this group to join me to beef up the task ahead of us. And again, the work of support services is based on two key areas. That is, we're focusing on recruitment and also trying to look at ways of putting off fundraising, bringing up fundraising agendas, of which you will be the sole contributors of that. I mean, as other speakers reiterate about the voluntarism, it's because it's based on voluntarism. And of course, this is an organization that should have the heartbeat of the campaign. I don't believe America is more stronger than us, because we have the potential, we have the individuals, we have the people at the forefront who this government or any civilized government will listen to. But therefore, I think it is important that we've got to get the momentum on running. And again, it is important that with all what we're doing, the membership plays an important role here. Getting that membership drive and then continuing recruitment members to this CDCG, which is the umbrella organization of any organization as far as UK is concerned, as far as my knowledge is concerned. I think it is an utmost task to both of us. During the last months, with the support of the committee and the chairman, we were able to come up with identity cards, which I'm so grateful with some of the members, if it called using their own mobile telephones to call and then sending their money with their cards who have been delivered to them. And some of them, in fact, I have some of them here which I have to deliver today. But it is important again that this membership drive is a work in progress. And of course, having the meeting in Birmingham is another advantage. And I will also seek the permission of the committee if meetings could be revolved within the UK. Brighton an example, Bristol an example, where we have a huge command of the Gambian people, so as to read them and then sell the ideas. Buttressing on what the chairman is saying, is based on voluntarism. And of course, we are here surrounded by responsibilities, working, family issues, and of course, with the madness happening in Gambia, it is an entire responsibility for each and every one of us to be sending support back home, which cannot be carried out without waking up in the morning, night, and evening to carry out our daily work. And therefore, it is important that we taking the responsibility and the task of steering the affairs of this CDCG. We will not leave any stone unturned by meeting the people at the doorsteps and then selling this agenda of this campaign. And that cannot be done without we trying to mobilize ourselves within key areas in the UK to meet the Gambian diaspora. Again, it's difficult, and it will ever be difficult if we are resource constrained. There are shortfalls that we encounter, but again, it's through the commitment of the members of the committee dipping into their pockets to keep the ball rolling. But I don't think that is the basis of this organization. It should be harnessed through a full-fledged financial resource management and again, trying to acquire finances not only based on external donors, but within ourselves. We've come up with a task force on how to raise funds, which is, again, is an open going. We're trying to put things together, the constraints and the shortfall